Alright, what is up everybody? This is Backrooms. I'm going to do a little bit of a guide. I'm going to do a run and sort of show you what strategies I use. But I think I've got some pretty good tips that are going to help you progress pretty fast because this map, it's pretty fun and it's, you know, evenly balanced and progression is pretty quick in it. Now, as you can hear, there's some some audio that you can turn off in these settings. But yeah, basically, like a lot of other roguelike maps, we've got weapon upgrades, cosmetics, which you are, you know, not a huge fan of, but, you know, they're sort of like words that you can put above your head. Prestiging, take a look at that actually. So currently I'm on prestige number 4, so we've got 3 here, and then I'm in the middle. So yeah, how that works is, you can see I've got power and weapon upgrades. I can prestige right now, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to run through the map. But basically, you have to max out all of the upgrade rewards. So you can see they're all maxed out. AFK does not matter. And boss rewards you need to max out as well. And over here, your power-ups, which are also obviously important. You need to max all those out. So you got your, you know, health regen, shield regen, health, shields, damage boost, and speed boost, which is really cool because, you know, helps you run a lot faster, making the map pretty fun. Now, another thing I would also unlock early game is this passive ability right here. So basically, this gives you regen, so when you jump, you heal. I'll show you a little trick. Let's upgrade that, actually. I'll show you a little trick that you can use to kind of make that a little bit better. But also this map has a lot of, you know, coins and XP. I think I've done it before today, so that's why it's not showing such great XP. But there's also some coins in here. Sometimes from those last coins that I just got, I get, you know, like 6,000 XP or something like that. Got an AFK area here. But anyway, let's do a run. And I'll show you what I kind of like and sort of some strategies I use. Rocket launcher is very powerful in this game. I would definitely recommend using the rocket launcher. And as you prestige, it unlocks the ability to just grab these weapons. So, you know, if you're on prestige 2, you can unlock that for 500 diamonds and so on and so forth. And because I'm prestige 4, I could unlock that. Let's just do that for the hell of it. I think the bug blaster is not that great in this game. But yeah, let's run through. Wait till I get some ideal weapons. So every time you clear a room, as you can see on the side there, it says collect reward. So you can go bang, and then it brings up this nice menu, a lot nicer than some other games here. And yeah, there's sort of nothing really of interest here, but I'm not sure how much XP it gives you, but you can get additional XP. If you collect these guys, you can see I've got 100 there, and they go up by 100. And you can also get some buffs which increase the percentage of what they're worth. So, you know, say 40%, it'll be 140. And these can be used later on in the map, or they can be cashed out for XP at the end of the map. Also got a self-revive, so that can be pretty handy for first-time players, definitely. Now we'll just try and run through this room here. These enemies have pretty low health. Pretty easy to get. The green gems don't always spawn, and they also despawn sort of quickly. Another great thing is because the abilities, the rewards show on the left-hand side there, you've got the option to bring up the map or bring them up or not. And, you know, if there's nothing of interest to you there, then you can just skip it and go to the next room. So first room here is the boss room. And this guy, you know, don't be too intimidated by it. Even at the very start of the game, you can more or less just stand there and not worry about being killed or anything like that. And as you can see, if you leave the room, it says unclaimed reward. So you can turn that on and off in the settings as well, which is pretty cool. This room here, there's nothing too much to talk about. I want to try and get some nice guns. Go through here. There wasn't a reward of any value here. Nothing much to talk about on this level either. Okay, great. So we've got what I think is the most powerful weapon in this game, and that is the grenade launcher. We'll definitely see that a lot in the upcoming rooms. See, every few rooms you get this spin to win kind of deal. So I've got 1.4k diamonds, so we can, not diamonds, but the green gems, we can either cash them out at the end for XP, or if you're early game and you want to re-roll, you can get some special weapons. So let's just do that to demonstrate. So I lost the 1200 green gems there, and what's it giving me? 1000 gems, so it basically did nothing. I guess we could spin it again, because we might as well, just to see what it gives you. 100 gems, okay. Kind of unlucky there, but anyway, let's move on. This room here, there is a girl with the boogie blaster. Ideally, you'd want to kill her first. Let's just get rid of the machine gun there. I'm going to switch this over to here. I'm going to switch that over to there. So yeah, the grenade launcher is a very powerful weapon in this game. As you can see, how easily I could clear that room. There's another boogie bomb. She's already gone, but yeah. There's one that stands on the top of that table. As you can see, yeah, the grenade launcher is very powerful. We've got another boss fight here. Might as well use the lead spitter. And just aim for the middle of the body. These guys, they can do a lot of damage. If you stand in this open area, they can do a lot of damage, but this window is totally fine. They won't hit you at all here. Same for this room. You got to be careful. They definitely can hit you, but I would just sort of stay low here. Get rid of those guys. And the great thing about the grenade launcher is, you know, if you find spots on the map where you can kind of bounce the grenade launcher, that can be very powerful. Also, throughout the map, there are, as you can see in this room, there's a secret code, 40753. And there's also these anomalies, which are on every single level. So we'll collect that anomaly. And as you can see on the right-hand side, I've got 26 of them. And what they're used for, that's the currency for getting those names on top of your player, which I don't personally like, so I'm never going to do it. But yeah, in this room, I would just come in, shoot the rocket launcher there, or a grenade launcher if you want. Then on this side, on each side, there's one of these enemies here. Great shooting, huh? I might switch to the grenade launcher again, just put one down there. Let's go back. Where is this guy? He's gone upstairs. Yep, up there. Also, damage buff. So next time you see that, it'll be 20%, and then maybe 30 or 40, but it keeps going up, I believe, up to 50%. Another spin to win. We won't worry about that. Pop into this room here. Just stay back. All of these rooms, you know, you're pretty safe around the entrance. When you go into the room, the door's not going to lock or anything like that. You can walk backwards, and you can also use that to make the room respawn. You know, if you sort of want to do a gimmick where you keep killing the same enemy over and over to generate some money, but when you do it a second and third time, the dollar amount goes down a little bit. This room here, I'd sort of stand here, bounce the grenade launcher off the wall, because if you stand here, you won't be able to shoot them unless you've got a scoped weapon. So if you can, just stay here. And once that sort of stops working, I just usually jump up and shoot a grenade. See, when you jump in the air, they will get some shots off at you. I see a lot of new players dying right here to these guys as well, so just be careful of them. So kill them, then go into the room, and then there's a spot where a grenade or a rocket is really good to shoot, and that's sort of like around about here. So you can get quite a few enemies by doing that. Where's he gone? So another boss room here. Go to the lead spitter again. I'll just reload that. But these bosses, if you stand here, they'll shoot the rockets like that. But if you stand in this window, you're absolutely fine. And the lead spitter won't work here, so we'll just shoot some rockets. I actually like the hyperburst here just for head damage, because as you can see, these rockets like 474 damage, and it's maxed out, so it's not the greatest. So, you know, even if you got some headshots off with this, you know, 554 there. So you can see that's much quicker. Not the best play by me. To be honest, I'm using this mouse that is about 20 Australian dollars from Kmart. It's a, you know, I'm not a super, I don't game too much, so I never really invested too much money into that, but that's something I'm going to look into. This room here, I would be shooting the grenades off the ceiling. And as you can see on the top right hand side, the little map that shows where the enemies are. So now I've cleared all the enemies that are sort of in this top floor area, and now we've only got enemies down the bottom there, so we can be pretty safe here, and we can just shoot the grenades off these pillars. And as you can see, it damaged, well, 4 enemies there, it killed. There's still 2 enemies there. Boom, all gone. A little risk. We got the hyperburst here, so let's switch that out. We'll grab the hyperburst. We'll get rid of that. For some reason I can't pick it up, so let's see if we can drop it. We'll put that there, and we'll see if we can pick up the hyperburst. Yep. I've noticed in some roguelikes that's an issue. You can't just swap out a weapon, you need to drop a weapon. But yeah, it's not too big of a deal. Just here, try and stay behind the wall when you're reloading. So you can see all of the enemies close by are gone, just the ones at the back are there, so we'll just shoot a couple of rockets up there. Oh, one of them did the trick. Same deal here, a bunch of these enemies up close, so we'll try and get them sorted. There's still 2 around the corner, so you can just bounce it off that chair there and get them. They usually stand there. And then here, I just like to aim on this pillar here. You see it's damaged 4 enemies, and we just got 1 more that's there. We'll just get that guy. Another spin to win. You can also modify weapons. I've never done that in this game. This particular room here, these guys can do a lot of damage. So what I would do, I would just shoot some grenades kind of here. Damage those guys that are kind of up close. And then after that, shoot it into the ceiling. Because there's some guys that are standing back a bit further, you know, around here, that you couldn't get from just standing in that first spot. Here, same deal. You can just shoot it into the ceiling, kind of clear the guys that are up close. And then you can either peek out here to kill these guys. So you can see they do a bit of damage. Or if you go up here, they won't damage you at all. So you can just shoot a rocket right here, sort of into the middle of them. Maybe not the fastest way, but it's easy. It's a pretty cool arcade room there, but go up the stairs here. And we've got a self-revive. Not that we'll need it, but we'll grab another one of those. These guys can do a lot of damage as well. So what I'd do, I'd run into this room, shoot the rocket there. I'd back off, sort of try and clear the guys on the floor first, because they can do a bit of damage. And the grenade launcher, there's 2 enemies, or maybe 3, on each side up here. So as you can see on the map, they're no longer there. But there's a couple here on this side. We'll get rid of these guys. And there's still some there. So we can bounce the grenade off this, off these pallets. And as you can see now, there's only 2 guys that are close by us. So we can just shoot a rocket there. Finish him off with the hyperburst. Another boss level. I just like using the hyperburst. Let's use the lead spitter actually. So that enemy must have about 10k health. by the looks of it. Here, I would stand back because you can see there's some guys close by. They're all standing underneath here. So if we just shoot some grenades off this pillar, we can kill most of them. There's one guy there. We'll just shoot him with a hyperburst. Then there's a few enemies here, which I'm not sure what enemy it is, what weapon it is that they use, but it does a lot of damage. It might be the what's that? The repeater rifle, I think. This room here, again, use the ceiling to your advantage. Stay under cover. So just keep shooting it into a spot until you see it's not doing any damage at all. So I killed a few enemies there. This next shot, see, it won't do anything. So that's when we move. We look for a new angle. Maybe shoot one off there. Get one guy that's a little bit around the corner to the left. So it's just about, you know, strategically shooting the grenades into spots. This room here, nothing much to say about it, to be honest. Shoot some grenades, kill those guys. And there's some guys, enemies up the top there. So we can try and shoot a grenade off the ceiling, off that pipe there. Oh, got a bad bounce. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. We might just jump up and get him. And there's one more enemy down here. So early game you won't be able to do that because they'll do far too much damage. So what do we got in this next room? Ah, yes, this room. Okay, again, take cover. I would just be bouncing grenades off these walls here until, you know, you're not getting any more eliminations. So no more eliminations. We'll go off this wall because there'll be some guys that are a little bit closer to the left, and then here we can just shoot a couple there. Where's the last guy? It's 20%. Okay, so it went from 10 to 20%. This level here, I think a great tip is from here, there's a couple of guys on either side. It's like a symmetrical map. You can just kill them by bouncing the grenade off the ceiling here. And as you can see on the map on the top, those two guys are gone. Same deal here. And those guys are gone. Now these enemies, I'd just be bouncing them straight off the ceiling here. And try and do it on this side. There's only one enemy left here. And this room, again, they can do a lot of damage. I like to just shoot a rocket in the middle there. Try and get, you know, value for money with your damage kind of thing. Or you can also try going on the side and just shooting some grenades. Where's that last enemy? There's one close by. Right here. Last room is crazy. Okay, we're up to the last room. Pop that open. Drop the grenade. Kill those guys. I like to kill... There's the boogie bomb girl over there. Get rid of her first. There's not too much strategy to this room. I would just sort of stay up the top here. I wouldn't be going down until you absolutely need it. Like if there's one more enemy right at the end that's sort of hanging down and you can't get an angle on them, that's when I would try that. But yeah, basically this room has enemies from all the other rooms that we've had in the map, so it's pretty cool. Just wasted that rocket there. I thought there was an enemy there because one usually stands there. Kill these guys. We've got 6 enemies remaining. And then you run out to the end. But also, if you're prestiged, you can go into the glitch zone. We might do a separate video on that. I've never killed the boss at the end, but we'll give that a try. But yeah, run through here, grab all the coins, cool XP. You can go up to here and you can cash out your green gems. So we can just spam this. I'm not sure exactly how much XP it gives you. Oh, there we go, because the XP showing up on the screen wasn't working recently, but it seems to be, you know, 1 XP for every green gem. So that is how I run through the map. Now I'm going to show you the best way to prestige and progress quickly. So we've ran through the map. Let's do a prestige. It's going to reset all of our upgrades in terms of rewards, power. We're going to lose our money. So we've got $19 trillion. We'll go here. We'll prestige. So now we get some buffs. As you can see here, like every time you prestige, you get some additional buffs. Your rewards go higher. You unlock extra power levels. Every time you escape, you get an additional trophy, which is whatever. 3 power levels already applied, plus 3%. Okay, so that's your starting health and shield, I believe, that increases. So we're really pushing to do it 10 times to get instant reload so we can do a much quicker speed run. It usually takes me like 15 minutes or something like that, but I know you can do it a lot faster, so I think instant reload is really going to help with that. But yeah, as you can see, you lose all your resources. So let's just see how much XP this gives us. What I would focus on right now, because I'm not worried about dying or damage, so to speak, the quickest way to prestige and get everything maxed out here is all of these guys are kind of balanced in the cost and the rewards ratio, unlike some other games where later opponents are sort of more heavily favored to upgrade. These are all pretty balanced, so you know you can just start upgrading the earlier ones, and as you progress through the map, you know, you progress the later ones. But what we're going to do, we're going to run through to the first boss. We're going to kill the first boss, we're going to respawn, and then we're going to keep doing that. That's the quickest way to level up in this game. So we've got 50k coins. We'll invest some money into this until it's reasonable. We might, so that gives us, yeah, we might go again. We'll just max that out. We won't worry too much about that first enemy. And because we're prestiged, we should already have some weapons unlocked. So because I haven't upgraded any weapons, unfortunately, it's just giving me all grey weapons. But because we're on prestige 5, I believe, we can sort of unlock all of these. So let's just do this, see what it's like. I like the hyper burst still. So what did we start with? We virtually had no money, so 2.1k. I wouldn't worry about dying. Just go for some easy headshots. Might as well grab a damage boost while we're at it. We won't really need any of that. Probably shouldn't have even brought it up. Just reload this hyperburst and we'll see how easy it is to kill this first boss. I don't think it's going to be a problem, especially after prestiging. Your sort of base health and shield is pretty high. So there we go, 85k. So just get out of this, just respawn. Go back to the start, hit skip just to make it a lot quicker. At the end there it shows your stats from that run. So we'll just go back to upgrade rewards. We'll go to the boss. We'll pump a little bit more money into that. And because we can't do that anymore, we'll just buff this a little bit. And then we might go over to the power upgrades. Because these are so cheap, let's just give ourselves a bit of a damage boost and a shield boost. Get out of that. Run it again. And just rinse and repeat that. I think maybe if you do it, say, 10 times, you should have that maxed out. So after you've done that a bunch of times, it takes 1 minute to go up and clear the boss. As you can see, 257k. Our rewards are, increasing pretty quickly here. So we'll do that. We'll go to kill rewards. We'll invest a little bit into that. Run again, so on and so forth. I'll stop it here and I'll come back a little bit later with an update. All right, so I don't know how long it's been, maybe 10 minutes or something like that, but I've already maxed out the first boss and the first enemy. So basically, you just need to rinse and repeat this, do it one by one. The next enemy, the next boss is after this level. So what I would do, I would focus on redoing the first boss over and over again. But when you come back, just upgrade these two guys here. And then once they're sort of maxed out, you also put a little bit of money into this guy. So we'll do that. And I reckon in around about 2 hours, maybe a bit less, you can have everything maxed, including weapons, and be able to prestige. Anyway, I hope you liked that video. Drop a comment and a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.